Did all this setting up. Hey, Rudy, out the trash can. Out the trash, Rudy. Didn't even say hi. Hey, Rudy. Hi. Hey, Rudy, I'm trying to start this. Oh, wow. Stop. All right. Now we live, and I know that I'm live at the same time. Hey guys, man, welcome to the Sci-Ti Live podcast. That's what I put there. Yeah, the Just Tie Now show where we combine our minds with our hearts, connect those two circles, and have a conversation. Yeah, hey guys, y'all know. Hopefully, you're having a wonderful morning, evening, night, midnight special, whatever time that's coming your way. Hey, come back. Feedback the energy, and let's all participate in this atmosphere. I'm put the link to the Discord in the description. Hey, what's going on? Oh wait, let me put this on there. Hopefully, there's still the same stream. But what's going on, Sami Holloman, or Hollyman? Yeah, that's the same one. Hey, top of the morning, as they say across the pond. Let me paste that. Let me get this link. Oh wait, let me actually pause what's on the TV. Right? That's very that'll help out a lot. But yeah. Wow, I can't post the link. Okay. Share. Copy. I love that Discord exists. Cause shout outs to True Life Stories. I'm on there very often. And it's a bigger community than it is over here, where people are able to come on and share their stories live on camera. And if it wasn't for Discord, none of this would have ever been as possible to do it as fluidly as we've been doing. I can't get the link. I want to post a link. But yes. What's been going on lately? Been doing a lot, taking care of the daughter. Whoop. Come on. I really want to get this on. View channel. Let's just try it that way. But this whole first 3 minutes has been just me saying, what's going on? It won't let me paste the Discord link. It's like, do the internet not want me to talk to people? Wow, okay. I don't want to waste any more time trying to do that. But if you're already part of the Discord and you jump in here, can you try to post the link? I suppose I'm here. And I'm just still observing, looking about the mushroom. But I put the title of this, Psychedelics in the Future, so I can tie on psychedelics in the future. What does that even look like? Or what can I guess that it looks like? Because right now, it seems like everybody is starting to get a little hip to it. Get a little hip to what's going on with this plant medicine vibe. Even if they just getting into herbs, like herbal medicines, and seeing how herbal, like going to medicine stores. Hold on. You know, True Life Stories, I met him through Discord a while back. Truly a social pillar in the psychedelic community. I've been subbed to you for a few months now. Oh, wow. Oh, thanks for being in here. Yeah, I'm on True Life stream for the past year. If you heard a voice that kind of sounds, I don't know, a young boy or something, that's me. I haven't been on there in the past 2 days though. Past 2 days because I've been doing a lot with my daughter homeschooling and a lot of just meditating, taking a lot of things in my mind without putting a lot of words, just getting this life figured out. Well, working with what I already had figured out instead of letting those programs keep going and having a little voice in the back of my head saying, don't you know better? What are you up to? What are you doing now? But psychedelics in the future, how does they even look like? Because now they come, like I was saying, they're coming back out. And people, they coming back out at the time that we have all this science and so-called technology going around. So if now we're still just taking it through plants and things like that, how is it going to be? I mean, like through just growing it and taking it, how is it going to be in the future? Like with potency or the way that you dose it. Like let's take marijuana. How's that changed in recent times? It's been around for thousands of years. The Chinese and even before that were reported of having hemp seeds and stuff. Yeah, it is all programming and conditioning. Because now I want to, like, how are we going to do this in the future? Because I was saying with weed and stuff, how it was around for all these years, but now that we have technology and the plant and we have laws and regulations relaxed so that scientists and even like amateur scientists like myself can go and see what's going on with the marijuana plant. And now you see how people making tinctures that you can rub on your skin and get the THC or the cannabinoids that way, or they got dabbing for people that have been smoking too long that really want to get that extra push. I love dabs. Or they you know how it is, they got even more potent weed than what existed way back in the past. Improving growing techniques because now we can share ideas. And what else? What's the other way we grow? We got vape pens. So if you don't want to get the whole smoke in your system and things like that, it's 8/11. So if you don't want to get the whole smoking stuff in your system like that, you can just vape. And so now when it comes to psychedelics and we got all the science and technology, is Saad said, I'm gonna call you Holly Man. I can't say your first name, I'm sorry. It's a true shift in the history of humankind using consciousness expanded medicine. I think humankind will continue to grow and coexist with the earth. Yeah, I think we will continue to coexist with the earth. I think all these doom and gloom stories are mostly like from people who are going through a lot of things in their own life. And how do I know and how do I say this? Because I used to be one of those people that thought that the world was going to end, that it was going to come and be a huge catastrophe because we messing up everything. And some earth was going to wipe us out and everybody just going to be gone. But as I dug deeper, I was seeing that it was mostly probably because of ways that I was feeling about the world or ways that I was feeling in myself. So when I looked out in the world, since there's a reflection of me, I was like, man, we all going to die soon. We all messed up. And nobody's ever going to be perfect. But still having this extra sense that the psychedelics give you is like, you're able to breathe again. You're able to catch your breath. You're able to catch your breath and be like, oh, wow, this is what's going on. This is my contribution. I think I want to change it up a bit. Or it's like, you don't even think you want to change it up. It's like, oh, I'm just backing up and I was radicalized, as they say in that new House of X-Men comic. I was radicalized by that experience, and it changed all of my future lives from here, all the forks and the realities that I'm going to be branching off into from this point on. But to go back to the plants and engineering them, like making tinctures and things like that, I think that would be so dope when it comes to magic mushrooms. It's actually something that I've been getting inspired by from Mystery Ozo. Shouts to him, where he talks about how he wants to make this tincture, this really potent tincture out of the magic mushrooms, where you can condense like 2 ounces of mushroom, so to speak, into like a liquid vial. So you just had to take a little drop and you good. You going on your spiritual journey. Like save it for religious purposes. I'm not religious purpose. You know, your internal religious purposes. Like when you really ready to sit and travel, not take it and try to go do something, but your ass is just sitting there traveling dimensions and stuff like that. I think that would be pretty cool. Holly, man, you said, right. I'm only now becoming aware of deeply rooted issues that I thought were gone. Psychedelics grab your soul and give it a good slap and a good hug. LOL, it's showing the self itself. Yeah, I love that, as well as the good slap. They give you a good hug. Like, it's all good. Like, you're like, oh, God, slap me again. Start getting into this dominatrix stuff with the mushroom. Because it is love all at the same time. Like all the vibes you get from sexual activity, from loving something, from hating something, is like all there in the hugest in the hugest bundle. And it's all real personal. That's what I like about it. It's not like, oh, well, it always gives everybody a general message. Probably give people like a general kind of vision, even though still everybody's vision is still kind of different, but the stories that it tell you is so personal. Like literally showing you a video of, it's like a psychiatrist was there. You just went to go meet this random ass psychiatrist, but they so happened to have recorded your whole life and had this special technology that recorded your back thoughts and the back thoughts of everybody around you, including things that's not even people. Like the buildings you was around, if you grew up around trees or if you didn't grow up around trees, like the energy that you grew up around that was being played out through it raining very often in your area, or you growing up in California where I am now, where it's dry, where it's sunny a lot, and the personalities of East Coast versus West Coast is very apparent. I used to grow up into music. And growing up thinking that it was just music thing. Like, oh, well, when people create music, that's just the culture and things like that. But the way people grow up over here is a lot more relaxed in the mind, as if their neocortex is not buzzing as much. Like in the East Coast, you just like zoom, you zipping, you doing this, you doing this, you doing that, you doing this, you running, catching a bus, stuck in traffic, dealing with a whole different, dealing with multiple ethnicities living on the same block. So you're dealing with all these cultures. It's just all these interactions coming at you all the time. You got so much more. And yeah, it said they can't really hear you. I think they have. But it says right. I'm only now. Oh wait, I already read that. I swear it was something else that came up. Yeah, and you gotta get you a mic if you want to be on. I grown up and still live in Central North America in Arkansas. I said Arkansas. And I was about to say Arkansas. I think I was about to say that's what it was. I was about to say Arkansas. And then I said it the right way. That's how it should be pronounced. No disrespect. That's the only place I haven't really existed in, is the mid-United States. I wonder how it is there. How is it over there? Looking at the East Coast and looking at how the West Coast is. It seems like the West Coast, the West Coast vibes, if they form with the East Coast vibes, it's like chilling. You chilling. But it's like I hear people that come over here. Like I was lucky that I was into these mushroom things coming over here, because and at LSD I was doing as well, because it allowed me to expand my mind to be comfortable with the concrete jungle, but as well want to try something different and not just existing as if that was all that I knew and was ever going to know. So I might as well adjust completely to this. I was like, no, I feel as though I want to try something a little different, a little fresher. I always can come back to Philly. I always can come back to the city, but right now let's move to the mountains. Let's move to a town where it's not 2 million people, but it's only 90,000. I'm seeing a difference. And psychedelics, so I was saying psychedelics and mushrooms allowed me to say, just open up some new areas in my mind. Because when you worried about stuff, especially how we worried about stuff in the East Coast, you too busy. You too busy. That's what the worry come from on the East Coast. You too busy to think about really expanding and moving. You busy with your family. Like, oh man, I can't move from my family and friends. Well, I guess a lot of people go through that. But I don't know. The city just have you set up like it's his own, like it's his own world. Like it has literally everything you need. But it was like when you in a town or live on the outskirts, it's like you able to go to the city to feed, to eat. But you don't have to always like be eaten up by it. Because it takes real strong heart to live in the city. When I went back last year to visit, one of my first things I was noticing was the culture that was in Philly, and the art and the way that people was expressing themselves. Like it was a huge need to express yourself through your, as Mina is saying, through your clothing, through your hair, through your book bags, the way you wear your hat, your shoes, your sneakers, real important. Like don't scuff my sneaks, don't scuff my Timbs, my Nikes. Like the style is up there. Like the way people present themselves with they slang and everything. Like they say, oh wow, you from in Philly, it's so small, but you still can say that you from North Philly, South Philly, West Philly, North Philly, and you like, man, you talk like you from North Philly, you talk like you from South Philly. It's all the same thing, but people are paying so much attention to this ego identification, but adding so much culture to it at the same time. It gets like that. It gets like that, and there's something about the ego identification that pops up a lot more on the East Coast, but still everywhere. But it's it's like is you pushing yourself. You pushing yourself to push past a lot more trauma or like a lot of in your face bad things. Like out here is like not so many things that's in your face. So when I look at two,
There's a little bit more space. Everything is not so congested, so everything's not literally overwhelmed by like.
I want them to be able to hear you if you're on here. So it's a show.
Oh, maybe I was just talking to the next thing.
And I'm not, well, I don't know how I can test it. Let me turn this on and then have you say something. Say something again.
Hey, everybody.
And I'm not, well, I don't know how I can test it. Well, I gotta wait for it to catch up to me. I think they can hear you. Say something again.
Cause you should. Hey, everybody.
All right. A little bit. So you got a special guest, Mina. Is gonna be popping in and out today. But yeah, the benefit of doing psychedelics out here. Yeah, I was trying to send the link to the Discord earlier. It wasn't allowing me to copy it in there. To copy it into the.
This thing get dirty so fast. That's why. Look.
Yeah, that's what I.
She eat the everyday.
Yeah, I'm trying it again. It wasn't really working. Yeah, we could do that. We could do that. I wish we could do that now. But the link is just not posted in the description or in the link or anything. But it's all good. I don't try not to let depressed thoughts run through my head for more than 5-10 seconds. And that's what I was going to about living out here compared to being there. Is when you start dealing with psychedelics, it's like it allowed me to have the space, like the literal space, to deal with the circumstances that pop up through psychedelics, because psychedelics pull up a lot of things that nobody will really be able to help you get a handle on when it comes to personal dealings. So when you in the city, you every which way you turning around, you bumping into somebody. Or even if you're around family a lot, you if you live in a household with family, you running around, you got your mom, or you got your aunt, you live with your aunt, or you live with your five cousins, because everybody trying to make it work. So everybody's all together. There's no real personal time. But out here, and I was able to still find little places like in Fairmount Park, but compared to being out here, it's a major difference. And it allowed me to go out and deal with the self by myself, go into the alone without worrying about somebody walking up on me while I'm sitting at the park, or walking up on me while I'm really in my own sense, and doing and like trying to rob me, or have in the come up stages judge me like, man, what do he think he doing? Like, who do he think he is? Like, what is, like, he needs to go get a job, or he needs to stop acting so weird. Like, you able to play with yourself a lot more than in the city. But when you do it in the city, I think that's why you have why I felt the big need, and I see the big need out there to like push yourself. Like, if you want to do a lot of business, like the business mind is more out there. So if you a artist, you going to form that to a business quick if you on the East Coast. Because you're like, man, this is what I do. I'm hustling. I'm going to hustle this. I ain't going to just sit back and let the world run me over. So so when you go into there, you start building up. You start networking and everything like that. And that's why I love that I did come from the city. That I still have that ethic in me.
Watch when I try to get out here, it's gonna be 100% successful because I have the space and the means this time around. Like, it's not all bombarded. I'm clear headed.
You are more clear-headed. You're able to be more clear-headed. That's what I was saying, especially with psychedelics, because when your head, the setting is I got one right here. He tried to pass me the L. I already got one in my hand. But being out here with the psychedelics, you able to embrace the weirdness. I don't wait, yeah, that's another top thing to go into. The connections and how much you running into people when you in these flow states over there. And hey, what's going on, you? Well, hello, man. When you over there, I'm talking about the East Coast and the West Coast and psychedelics, taking psychedelics on the East Coast and then being over here on the West Coast. Oh wow, I grew up with a black identity and in the deep woods, small town. Oh, so you like where I'm in am now? Have you ever tried any psychedelics while being out there?
Thank you for doing this tape.
Because what I was saying about the being out in the East Coast and being in the flow state of the psychedelics, you still start taking on the identity of others. Compared to the road that I'm on now, where like a lot of people thoughts was just like, man, that's what that person said in the past 5 years ago. Or that's what that person, like, I hear that in my head when I say things. And I'm like, nope. This is what I say. Ta. Da, 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 da. I've noticed out here in the South, you can't really embrace it without some sort of persecution. Oh, what's up, True Life Stories? Hey, late but here. A magician, as I got from Gandalf, a magician is never late or early. He's always on time. Oh, the vid is lagging. Hold on. Let me see. He's always on time. Hopefully it fixed that. Oh, I see. Oh, the vid is lagging. All right, there it is. Okay. I've learned to be the rock in the river with the water flowing around it up in these conditions. Harden a certain part of this ego to not care what others think and to continue. And what you said earlier about effortlessly expressing itself. Ooh, that's nice. And what you said earlier about I notice out here in the South, you can't really embrace it without persecution. That is complete. Why is it saying the stream is over? No, it's still going. Oh, it's still going. Y'all just hear me yelling. That's just because I'm excited. I'm excited. Effortlessly expressing itself. It's golden folds. The city do get you that persecution thing. I think is wild, and it is something that is what. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just in my expression. So I don't got these thoughts saying, "Yo, chill out. It probably is working." I'm just like, "Huh? What? Who?" I love it. Huh?
It's not working.
Say hey. Let's see who talking. Just pop the face in. Oh wait, but let me see so you can see. There you go. Hey. Persecution in the city. That's what I'm about is something that I'm also glad that I went through. And you saying that you see how it's harder to get that in the South, but you had to learn to be a rock and not just and expressively express yourself and not just go into the mold like that. That is something that the hard what is that? The hard rock life. Hard knock life. That's what it is. The hard knock life gets you in the city. It does get you to want to be an individual and express yourself. Cause it seems like that's the mode that everybody is in the city. Like that's the things that go out there. Like be yourself, get your own swag, do this, be your own guy, be a hero, and things like that. It get confusing in the city because they don't give you the right keys and tools to do what you feel is to do that motivation that you see when you all around, and they trick you. They kind of they trick you by then setting up circumstances and events to have you express those feelings, but it's only through their companies. You know what I'm feeling? Like it's only through working their 9 to 5, signing up for their schools, or having their kind of mentality in order to get this expression of individualism out. And that doesn't really make sense. How can you get individualism out if you're working through somebody else's imagination? And that's one of the biggest tricks of the city. That's one of the biggest, and that's why a lot of people